So how is Bali right now? Guys, you know, over the years, I keep coming back to this place at least once a year. But I have to tell you, last time I was here, Bali was completely dead. Like, outside of maybe some expats that have been coming here, it has been so incredibly quiet, but things are back. They have changed also in terms of the prices. Just if you're curious, if you're planning to come. So, you know, over the past 5 years, if you're new here by any chance, I've been documenting my journey of, I call it, building a life of freedom around the world. And Bali is a super popular place in many ways. And I have to tell you, it's fully back in all its good, but also bad ways. I would say I want to tour you around, tell you what I mean by that. The different areas. So as of right now, this is Canggu. It's a very up and coming, but already one of the most popular areas. And I was really amazed by how it has changed in just 1 year since the last time that I've been here. So definitely we'll tour you around in Canggu today, maybe go to also to Seminyak, some of the other very, let's say, established touristy areas. But first we checked into this, I would say, quite amazing place. It's an absolute masterpiece. Seriously, guys. This is the Desa Hay Canggu. I think I'm gonna give you a tour a little bit later on. For now, let's hit the streets of Canggu and let me show you what happened to this place. It's quite interesting. So I guess that's a good way to describe Bali right now. Traffic. Alrighty guys, and so we are driving into Canggu city. I have to tell you one thing. A year ago, this drive that we're on right now was an absolute rice field. Like in the back, I'm gonna show you later. But now this is full of cafes and restaurants. And I have to tell you, they look pretty nice for the most part. You remember this road?
Yeah, I do.
It was empty.
Yeah. Full buildings now.
There was like one cafe.
Yeah.
Now it's like 20. Okay guys, so this is one of the roads where they have been building the most from what I could gather in the first few days in Bali. I have to tell you, Canggu absolutely blew me away. There's so many constructions right now. Still, like, it's not like it's just one construction, but some roads, literally 10, 20 new cafes popped up, 10 new hotels. And I have to tell, all of them are really like concept places. So look pretty nice, and it's actually fairly impressive.
Well, you have to give the Bali people, they know how to do architecture here. Like every single building, just like art.
I think there's also some expats opening up cafes and hotels, but at the same time also some locally run places. The creativity behind them, the concepts, you cannot find it in many other parts in the world. Very few. So hopped off the scooter. You could call this place a little bit Canggu Center. So lots of cafes, and the thing is, there was always tons of places to sit down, to eat. But the thing that's happening that kind of like is coming into my eyes when you walk around the city, they're opening like a bookstore here, and generally pretty much every single space is occupied now. But the thing that also obviously comes into your eyes right away is the traffic. You're probably gonna see this throughout the video. The traffic is crazy. It's like hard to walk anywhere really, so definitely have to get a scooter for the most part. Everybody that is doing any type of, let's say, online content, online business, remote living, this is like, let's say, a digital nomad hub, if you will. And just being on the street kind of like wakes you up a little bit. All the people you meet are doing something, so it's also, let's say, great for networking, but also just the vibe in the air. People are up to something, people are doing something, which makes you want to do something as well. So guys, if you are planning a trip anytime soon, be it to Bali, be it anywhere else, you know, one of these might come in handy. This is today's video sponsor, Level H. So if you have been watching the channel for a while, you probably have heard about them. I've been rolling with the carry-on suitcases for almost a year. Also have a check luggage, and I have to tell you, quality is really out of this world, especially the aluminum suitcase, but they also have more affordable options on their website. For the longest time, I've been always a carry-on guy. Just makes everything so much convenient, but also they have different checked luggages, and as of right now, you can get 15% off with my code Danny15. I'll make sure to put it on here. So in terms of the organization, the design, how it looks, check out Level 8. I'll make sure to leave everything in the description together with a code for 15% off. And so yeah, let me know what piece you might end up getting. Some guys were texting me they got the same one, they were very happy with it, and yeah, I can see why. Let's get back to today's adventure. In a little bit, gonna be heading to the sunset here in Canggu. It's almost like a tradition of this place. No, seriously, it gets so busy, I'm excited to show you. But for dinner, came back to the Desa Hay, to the restaurant. Actually just looked at the menu, so the place here definitely is like, let's say, on the higher budget range. But their cafe with like super nice vibe here. Just check, the cappuccinos are still like a little bit over $2. Food is also very reasonably priced. That's the amazing thing about Indonesia in general. There's a few places that are definitely expensive, but with many super nice places, the prices are still reasonable. Let's say like that, the value is great. Okay, we are by the beach. You know, usually it's the thing to do for a peaceful evening. Go for a bit of a walk, get your steps in Bali. Today the waves are a bit wild. Usually Bali has some of the sickest sunsets, so the beach is one of the few places where you can go for a nice walk. Generally Bali is a bit more of a driving thing, but yeah, it's almost like a tradition. Usually there's hundreds if not even thousands of people by the beach just walking around every single night. Probably one of my favorite parts of the island. What are we getting?
Snake fruit.
Right now driving through one of my favorite roads in all of Bali. It's kind of like not too far from the hotel. When you drive out one of the main roads, there's this huge rice field, and usually it's fairly quiet. People just walk their dogs here, and I was afraid this is also gonna be all like with full of cafes, but no, it's actually just one. Genuinely, I was a bit scared that this road is also gonna be all developed, but luckily it's not. Mostly still locals here, farmers, humongous rice fields. So basically at the intersection that I'm gonna show you right now, if you're gonna drive around Canggu, you're gonna see it. You just drive straight, you're gonna see a little road, then you're gonna find it. I'm giving you away little secrets here. Usually people don't really like to say where this place is, but you know. As promised, we're back at the Desa Hay. The design, the craftsmanship of the way they have built it, I think it's a fairly new place. Really impressed me. It's like one of those places where you arrive and the longer you stay, like a couple of hours today, the more you start to see the details. So I think it's like a couple of villas, 4 on this side, a couple of on the other, not too many, very private. Coming in, you already see it. The arch of the building, just the greenery, the nice little pool, everything is so super nice and clean. I like to call it tight, when everything kind of makes sense, everything is super well put together, not too much, not too little. Coming into the room, so let's say it like that, everything is super neat. So nice big bed, she doesn't come with the room, but no guys. So complimentary mini bar, and just like all the details, the whole design. We got a humongous TV in the back. I'm gonna definitely shoot some b-roll for you. So glass doors everywhere, even though you're surrounded by nature, everything is just, I don't know, a lot of daylight coming in. Right. And even though we're surrounded by all this greenery, still quite a lot of daylight is coming in, and it's like a medium-sized villa. But I have to tell you, if you compare it to, like, let's say other like luxury hotels, I would say it's worth it in the sense of just like how much attention to detail there is. So this is the bathroom, 2 nice mirrors, and the shower with this opening door. So pretty much if you're coming here for enjoying yourself or even taking some content, definitely you will find something. Also, the other thing actually that amazed me the most when first coming in here, when first checking in, there's music playing. You're thinking like, oh, that's nice. And then you turn it up a little bit. You're obviously not gonna hear it right now, but the audio is absolutely fantastic. So I think it's those little small things that really make a difference. And also they have like their own playlist. Obviously you can play your own music if you're into that, but I kind of like just like the idea that they really invite you on this experience. And yeah, so overall I would say nicely sized property. I'll make sure to link them down below. Thank you to Desa Hay for hosting us. And as I said before, it's definitely one of the luxury places in Canggu. But if you stay at a bigger hotel for similar money, you're just gonna get like a more, like, let's say, hotel experience, where here everything seems just so thought through. And honestly, in all of Canggu that I've been like driving around, I haven't seen a better place. So check it out. Alrighty guys, back on the scooter. Obviously, another very positive news. If you have ever been to Bali, been to Canggu, there has been one road that was really terrible. They fixed it up, made it quite nice and large. Hey guys, and definitely to get a better impression of how's Bali right now, wanted to come out to the area that last time really struck me as like completely empty. Usually there's a lot of businesses on this road, and they're all back. So last year, for me, this was kind of like the dead road, the road where everything was mostly abandoned, most of the shops, like 80%. It's kind of like one of the main roads of Seminyak. And today, it's back to being a really nice walking street. Got some clothing shops on the back, some bigger cafes, more private cafes, and of course, also like, let's say, more tourist and stuff. So I was actually quite surprised because last year it looked really different, and it's fully back to how it was maybe when I came 4 years ago, which obviously, you know, people forget these crazy times that have been behind us, but I'm not forgetting them. You know, they closed down so many different countries, so many different businesses, and it's good to see that it's back, and hopefully, you know, stuff like that won't happen again. And also, it's a fantastic place to go for a run. I would say anywhere between like 5 to 10 a.m. 9 to 10 is when you want to get a tan at the same time in as well. Love it. Alrighty guys, back at my favorite place. A little bit the theme of today's video. So I guess with this, yeah, couple of days in Canggu and Seminyak, I just want to give you a bit of an update how the situation is right now in Bali. Like, it's super alive, super busy. Obviously, just to give you an idea also of the traffic sometimes here. So these are a little bit, let's say, the downsides of coming here. On the other hand, the beach, the vibe, the type of people that come here, but even more so just the way of like type of life that you could be living here. So the hotel I showed you, obviously on the more, let's say, higher budget, just stayed there for a couple of days. In the next video I want to update you a little bit on the prices, while I would say it became definitely, let's say, more normal prices again, much higher than maybe when a year ago I was here. I still think you can have amazing value in Bali, so I'm going to show that in a future video. As of right now, the plan is to go to Uluwatu, to go to the places where the blue beaches are, maybe head to the neighboring islands that are still considered kind of like Bali region. And yeah, just take you along a little bit on that. Like, I think it's going to be in total maybe 2 months in Bali, if you're new here by any chance. On the channel for the past 5 years, I've been documenting my life around the idea of building freedom around the world. And yeah, Bali is definitely a good hub to keep coming back to, be it to get some work done, be it just for a more peaceful life. Like, honestly, the tourist areas, they're just so crowded right now. There's so much construction going on. I feel like coming back to Canggu maybe in a year or two would be better, but I'm going to dive a bit deeper into that probably in the next video. And yeah, well, on that note, you too, outer world see.